A well-known prepper channel recently claimed that in breakdown of society, in 90 days, 90% of people would be dead. Not from the direct cause of the breakdown and not from predation. I don't believe that for a moment. But if there is any truth in it, then it's going to be down to disease, poor sanitation, and people not having access to medical facilities. And that brings me to one of the least glamorous but most important preps you can own: oral rehydration salts. The World Health Organization says that diarrheal disease is preventable and treatable, but still kills hundreds of thousands of young children every year, largely through dehydration and fluid loss. Safe water, sanitation, and hygiene are the major preventers. But once you do get ill, what can you do to tilt the balance in your favour? Be that in a post-collapse situation or just the next time you get a stomach bug. Well, I'm not here to give specific medical advice. And of course, you should get proper medical help when appropriate. But I do want to stress the importance of oral rehydration salts. And I also want to make the prepper community aware of a simple recipe for making your own better than nothing version. I didn't invent this. The World Health Organization promotes it around the world, and there are videos that cover it, but it hasn't really been picked up by the prepper YouTube. And that's a shame, because in SHTF, it will save lives. And just in a normal illness, this can help your loved ones get back on their feet. So this is worth knowing, and I'm begging every other prepper YouTube channel to make their own version of this video. If you'd like to credit me, then I'd be very grateful. If you'd rather not, then I'm still more than happy for you to copy this video concept. So what are oral rehydration salts? They're a measured mix of salts and sugar that you dissolve in clear water to make an oral rehydration solution. They're designed to help your body absorb and retain fluid when you're losing water and electrolytes through things like diarrhea, vomiting, or heavy sweating. Plain water replaces lost fluid, but ORS also replaces the salts your body is losing. The glucose content helps the gut absorb sodium and the water more effectively. But be careful what you buy. There are a lot of electrolyte tablets, which are probably better than nothing and may have a place in your preps for heat waves or the like. But the stuff you want are the sachets, specifically for recovery from diarrhea. If you're in any doubt, ask your pharmacist. But the proper stuff will have some combination of sodium chloride, glucose, potassium chloride, and something like trisodium citrate, which helps correct acid imbalance after diarrhea. You mix one sachet with a specified amount of water. Different products will vary, so read the instructions. This doesn't make dirty water safe, nor does it cure the diarrhea or vomiting, but it does help your body to get through it. Now, I know I told you that there is a better than nothing homemade version, which you can use in a pinch if you don't have the proper stuff. Obviously, use the proper oral rehydration salts if you can, but in SHTF, this could save the lives of the people you love. The International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies gives the following recipe. Wash your hands and use a clean container. 1 litre of safe drinking water, half a small spoon of salt, 3.5 grams, measure this carefully. 8 small spoons of sugar, about 40 grams. Dissolve the salt and sugar in the water. Right, let's actually make some. First, wash your hands and start with a clean container that holds at least 1 litre. I'm using the kitchen scales because I have them, but spoons work. The scales take out the guesswork. 1 litre of safe drinking water that you'd happily drink anyway. This solution does not clean dirty water, so if you're in a situation where you're purifying water, do that first. Now add the salt, 3.5 grams, which is about a level teaspoon. This is the one to measure carefully. Too little and the solution doesn't do its job. Too much salt is genuinely dangerous, especially for a child. So if you're ever unsure, err on the side of less. A weaker mix is safe, a stronger one isn't. Then the sugar, 40 grams, which is about 8 small spoons, or 4 big ones if counting to 8 feels like a lot when you're ill. The sugar isn't there for taste or energy, it's what helps your gut actually absorb the salt and water, so don't be tempted to leave it out. Give it a good stir until everything's dissolved, no grit at the bottom, no cloudiness settling out, and that's it. That's the whole recipe. Sip it little and often and make a fresh batch every day. After 24 hours, throw away what's left and start again. How much should you drink? The guidance the World Health Organization gives to family is little and often after each loose stool. For adults and over children, that's just as much as you comfortably want. For young children, it's less, about 50 to 100 millilitres for under the under 2s, and 100 to 200 for children up to about 10. Small frequent sips beat gulping it down, and if there's vomiting, don't give up on it. Wait 10 minutes, then start again slowly. So I don't believe 90% of people will die in 90 days. But I do think that oral rehydration salts belong in your medicine cabinet, your travel kit, and your preps. Electrolyte tablets may have a place in your preps too, especially around heat waves and sweating, but don't assume they're the same as oral rehydration salts for diarrhea and vomiting. And please learn that simple recipe for the DIY better than nothing version. And as I said before, I actively encourage other prepper channels to make their own version of this video. Let's spread the word in our community and save lives. Thank you for your time and attention, and I look forward to our next video.